watching the South Texas News Leader. This is 3 News at 10.
In the late news tonight in Brownsville, a memorial continues to grow after a driver barreled into a group of people waiting at a bus stop. The latest in that investigation as South Texans continue to pay their respects.
Plus, an investigation also in San Patricio County after the disturbing discovery of 2 bodies found in an SUV. What we're learning tonight.
And we'll hear from Nueces County officials as well as Elon Musk and Texas Governor Greg Abbott all in Robstown today for the groundbreaking of a new Tesla refinery. Why they say the Coastal Bend was the perfect place to do this.
Hi, I'm Alan Holt. We're keeping our eyes peeled to the radar. You see some storms out near the valley and into Laredo, the Texas-Mexico border. Some of that going to try to work toward the Coastal Bend overnight. We'll have the update.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing us into your home. I'm Rudy Trevino.
And I'm Leslie Adamy. We begin tonight with a better picture of that multi-million-dollar lithium refinery set to be built between Robstown and Driscoll.
Tesla's CEO Elon Musk and Governor Greg Abbott were in Nueces County today to celebrate the groundbreaking of that plant. Our Bill Churchwell was there for us and has this report.
A lot of excitement here for this groundbreaking for the $375 million project. Local leaders touting the opportunity for growth and jobs. Tesla planting its flag right here in the Coastal Bend. CEO Elon Musk arriving in style, pulling up to the future side of his lithium refining facility.
So thank you, the leadership here.
The entrepreneur greeted by Governor Greg Abbott and other local elected leaders.
Tesla is incredibly appreciative for everything that the state of Texas has done and that the governor has done. Thank you.
With this project and more, we will maintain our position as being the #1 job generator in the United States of America.
This is a mock-up of what the in-house lithium refinery will look like. The company is saying that increasing lithium refining capacity is critical to sustainable energy.
Capability we're aiming for is approximately 1 million vehicles worth of battery-grade lithium. But the potential is there to expand beyond that number.
The groundbreaking taking place as crews were already pushing dirt at the site located here off of Highway 77.
Finish construction next year and then reach hopefully full production about a year later.
This means jobs, this means opportunity, and really puts us on the map.
Nueces County Commissioner John Matas says the location is ideal because of the workforce that's already part of the Coastal Bend's rich industrial base, but also because of its proximity to the port and railway system.
Look at where Austin's located, you look at SpaceX, all these interests he has is along this general corridor.
The factory is said to be a first of its kind in the U.S. and is expected to employ 150 workers.
It's a great economy boost for the whole region, for the whole area, for the whole Nueces County.
I mean, that man runs companies all over this country, multi-billion-dollar companies, and here he is in Robstown, Texas, showing how important it is to be in Nueces County.
Bill Churchwell, 3 News.
All right, Bill, thank you for that report. Well, just in, new details in a double homicide investigation out of San Patricio County tonight. Sheriff Oscar Rivera officially releasing the identities of the 2 young men killed whose bodies were left in an abandoned SUV near Aransas Pass.
Sheriff Rivera tells us they are 27-year-old Brandon Barbosa and 26-year-old Javier Marchus. Now, investigators were called out this morning around 7:30 to County Road 2725 near Moose Lodge after the discovery of the SUV. That's when they found the 2 men. Rivera says upon further investigation, it was determined that both were shot somewhere else, but then driven to this location. Rivera says both were living in Aransas Pass.
Now, no motives or leads have been established yet. So if you at home know something about what may have happened in this case, then you need to call it in, either 911 or the San Pat Sheriff's Office at 361-364-9600. The sheriff telling 3 News tonight, quote, "We won't give up. We will continue to follow up this investigation as we learn more."
A man who police say drove into a crowd of people at a bus stop in Brownsville is now facing manslaughter and aggravated assault charges. 8 people died, 10 people were hurt in yesterday's crash.
Authorities believe 34-year-old George Alvarez lost control after running a red light and plowed into a crowd of people from Venezuela outside of a migrant center. The group had just left a local homeless shelter that helps migrants in South Texas.
The bus is in a very busy intersection, and it's just seeing one post with the sign of the bus where people need to wait for the bus standing up. Instead of being standing up, they were sitting on the edge of the road, of the sidewalk.
Police say he tried to run away from the scene, but several bystanders held him down until officers got there and arrested him. The FBI tonight tried to figure out if the crash was an intentional act, and if so, whether it was motivated by extremism.
Investigators are also waiting for toxicology report results and say the suspect is not cooperating with this investigation. Police say Alvarez has a criminal history and his bail is set at more than $3 million.
Meantime, tonight, a makeshift memorial for the victims sits outside the shelter. That continues to grow as people drop by with everything from candles, flowers, and crosses, try to make sense of this tragedy. A vigil was held to honor the lives lost. We caught up with a few people who paid their respects. They say this tragedy is personal. A 29-year-old man who asked us not to share his name was outside the Oznan Mann Center when the incident happened. Now, he says the journey to America is already scary enough, but this just made it worse.
No hay ningún tipo de protección a nivel general, ¿me entiendes? O sea, la gente que viene caminando, que viene transitando todos estos países, sencillamente vienen a la buena de Dios.
He says nothing can ever make up for what happened and the hurt and trauma this has caused, but says through unity and prayer, this community will heal and become stronger. The driver responsible charged with 8 counts of manslaughter, 10 counts of aggravated assault.
And another major story that we are continuing to follow. We go now to North Texas. At least 6 victims from the Allen Mall shooting are still in the hospital tonight following this past weekend's deadly rampage that left 8 people dead. The alleged gunman died after a confrontation with police.
New details are emerging from law enforcement about the gunman's past, including concerns about his mental health. Today we're hearing powerful eyewitness accounts of the moments they say they rushed to help the wounded. ABC's Melissa Adon reports from Allen.
Authorities are investigating the Texas mall shooting, which left 8 dead and 7 others wounded, as possible domestic terrorism. The suspect identified as 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia. Investigators taking a look at a social media profile appearing to belong to Garcia, rife with neo-Nazi ideology, racism, and hatred towards women. A series of photos uploaded to the account in April 2023 seem to indicate the gunman may have visited the outlet mall as far back as May 2022 and again in January of this year. The Army says Garcia was removed after only 3 months of service in 2008 over mental health concerns. On Monday, Texas DPS releasing the names of the adult victims, including 37-year-old Ki-Sang Cho and 35-year-old Cindy Cho, 26-year-old Aishwarya Tatikanda, an engineer, 20-year-old Christian LaCour. His sister tells ABC he was an on-duty security guard, and 32-year-old Elio Cumana Rivas. Among the victims are also children, a 3-year-old boy and 2 sisters, 8-year-old Sofia Mendoza and 11-year-old Daniela Mendoza. Their elementary school principal saying the girls were rays of sunshine. Those who lived to tell their survival stories say they searched for safety where they could. Or like Israel Hill, who ran into a restaurant and heard minutes of gunfire, along with the sound of children crying and yelling for help.
Pues es duro.
At this point, he says he's just feeling survivor's guilt, especially because there were children who died.
Yeah.
Raquel Lee took this video from a bathroom closet with about a dozen other people, telling ABC's Matt Gutman she's now haunted by what happened.
You actually heard the screams of the victims.
I can't get them out my head.
An attorney for the Allen police officer who shot and killed the gunman released a statement, in part saying the officer sprinted towards high-power rifle fire as others ran away, calling him a brave servant. In Allen, Texas, Melissa Adon, ABC News.
And there are GoFundMe accounts being set up for victims, and unfortunately, as we have seen, there are also fake accounts being set up to take advantage of this tragedy. So please make sure that if you donate, that you are donating to a verified account. But turning now to our weather, muggy heat has been relentless.
That's right. And tonight, a chance for some overnight showers or storms coming from the west. Chief Meteorologist Alan Holt joins us now with the very latest on that. Hi, Alan.
Yeah, and from the south, the smoky haze coming in from the Central American agricultural burns. We had been advertising this last week. It came in over the weekend, and we still have some lingering haze in the region. The air quality is still at this yellow moderate level, so it's not the best that it could be, but it certainly could be worse. And as soon as that smoke leaves us, that dot will turn back to the green color, but it's here for now. It's 79 out, southeast wind 7 miles per hour. This is yucky. Dew point at 76. That is just uncomfortable feeling levels of humidity out there. And we are watching to the west. You see some little infant showers trying to bubble up over in McMullen County, a little lightning bolt there too. We're going to see some activity try to work in from the west overnight. Not expecting severe weather, but a rumble of thunder certainly possible. And if a group of storm does make it all the way through, tomorrow is going to be what I think is kind of interesting. In meteorology, we're always looking for little boundaries in the atmosphere because that's oftentimes where weather will start to happen. And if a group of storms works through tonight, it will likely lay down a little outflow boundary. You see the differing wind directions there. That's a little boundary that would be supplied by the storm activity overnight. And what may happen tomorrow is along that boundary, we see a rejuvenation of scattered showers and or thunderstorms. So a little bit unsettled heading into overnight and Tuesday. Leslie, Rudy.
All right, thank you, Alan. Much more straight ahead on 3 News. Many concerns ahead of the ending of Title 42. Among those being, will the border communities be able to handle the surge of people coming in? What's being done in anticipation of it all leading up to Thursday?
And later, also a very busy time of year for the 3 News sports department as area softball and baseball teams continue to battle in the playoffs on the road to state. Chris Thomason will get us caught up ahead when 3 News at 10 continues.
See something you gotta share? Connect with us and tell 3.
In San Patricio County, officials and employees there have moved out of the courthouse and into the old Walmart in Sinton. The public will be able to get their tags and taxes done there. However, that location will be used for the county offices for the next 5 years. Now, the length of the stay is due to a new Justice Center being built, which will house the court system. After that, the courthouse will be renovated.
42 is set to expire this Thursday. The Trump-era immigration policy had allowed the U.S. to turn away most migrants at the border. But now, to prepare for a potential surge in migrants, the governor has formed the Texas Tactical Border Force. More than 400 National Guard soldiers are headed to border cities across Texas. Governor Abbott says the Department of Public Safety is also deploying hundreds of troopers around the state. Last week, the Biden administration sent 1,500 active duty troops to the border. The White House has also created additional migrant processing centers in Central America.
Federal and state governments are preparing for the end of Title 42 along the U.S.-Mexico border.
Reporter Brandon Lewis looks into a viral video that shows hundreds of people climbing a fence in a post that references immigration along the border.
On May 11th, the U.S.'s national health emergency will end, along with a controversial pandemic-era policy known as Title 42. Since March of 2020, migrants seeking asylum in the U.S. were usually returned to Mexico or their home country. Now, just days before the policy ends, people on social media are predicting a worsening crisis at the border. One tweet with millions of views appears to show hundreds of people scaling a chain-link fence with the caption, "We are being invaded. Don't let them lie about it." So, let's verify. Does this video show people illegally entering the U.S. from Mexico? Our sources are a search using video forensics tools Invid and Revi, Google Maps, and Spanish broadcaster KIII-TV. We started by doing a reverse image search of the video, which led us to this clip on YouTube. It was posted by KIII-TV on March 2nd, 2022. At the 30-second mark, you can see the same people scaling the fence in both videos. KIII-TV covers news in Melilla, a city in North Africa that's part of Spain. Both KIII-TV and the Associated Press reported that last year, about 1,200 migrants tried to scale a border fence between Melilla and Morocco. Nearly 400 were successful. We further confirmed the video was shot in Melilla by using Google Maps. You can see several of the same buildings behind the fence in both Street View and the viral video. So, no, this video does not show people illegally entering the US from Mexico. It was shot in Spain more than a year ago. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
And now we know.
And that's why we always tell people, when you see posts making their way on social media, make sure it's vetted, double check, triple check. Again, Verify. I know on the weather side of things, you guys see that too.
Yeah, I like when our forecasts are verified. It means that it happened.
There you go, exactly.
Yeah, so we'll see if tonight's verifies. We do have some showers and storms trying to approach from the west. Not expecting a terribly active night, but we are watching for the possibility of a few showers or storms to move in. We're looking north of Corpus Christi Bay, a little flaring action it looks like out near Ingleside. Upper 70s right now, mid 70s on the dew point. We've got a light southeasterly wind in place. A lot of clutter showing up on the radar. All this green, basically think of that as humidity. We're looking out for these reds and yellow hues. See them popping up in McMullen County. We're going to see more of that. Try to work into the western side of KIII country. The showers and storms that were ongoing over the last hour have really started to dwindle over the Rio Grande, and we're going to see, I think, some stuff try to drift through, but I don't think this is going to be, again, a terribly active night of weather. The Storm Prediction Center has the area west of San Antonio and then toward Del Rio and Laredo under the risk for a slight risk of severe weather, meaning isolated but not widespread on the coverage, and any stronger storms are looking like they're going to be producing hail or straight line winds 40 to 60 miles per hour. But again, the strongest should stay well to our west. This will also be accompanied by some upper level energy, an upper level low that'll track right over the top of us overnight, and that may be the catalyst that brings some of that activity right over the top of us. Then we see another day tomorrow of scattered showers or isolated storms, highs in the mid to low 80s. Another one on Wednesday with more evening showers possible into Wednesday night. So when all is said and done, just through the next 2 days or so, through Thursday morning, so maybe 3 days, we could be looking at between a ½ inch to 1.5 inches of rain. Few locations may see a little bit more, others a little bit less, but the point is that it looks like we're going to be fairly unsettled through about Thursday morning. I think Thursday afternoon we quiet down and then we re-up the rain chances into the upcoming Mother's Day weekend. Tonight, 73. Few storms possible from the west. Southeast winds 7 to 14 miles per hour. Tomorrow, again, I think it's going to be quieter in the morning. That depends on if anything works through overnight, though. So that's kind of the catch on tomorrow's forecast. 84 with scattered activity in the afternoon. Southeast wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. It'll be a little bit choppy on the waters, 2 to 4 foot waves at a 6-second period. Again, unsettled through about Thursday morning. Thursday looks quieter, so does Friday, but Friday night into the weekend, showers and storms re-enter the forecast. So spring is here, and the weather looks very much like it on that 7-day forecast.
Absolutely. Yeah. Alan, thank you. After the break, if you missed any of the Buck Days fun this past weekend, which there was a lot of, get this, there's even more still ahead. So if you want in on the action, we'll break it down for you right when we come back.
Schedules, highlights, and more, all part of the fun. Get ready your way with Best of Buck. Proudly sponsored by Visit Corpus Christi.
And just a reminder that Buck Day still has plenty in store for us.
It certainly does. Let's take a look at tomorrow's events. Rodeo CC will be having a few qualifying events at the R&B Fairgrounds. At 9 a.m. you can expect to see steer wrestling, breakaway roping, and barrel racing.
Also, the carnival gates will be on the same schedule, opening at 5 p.m. So after work, take the kiddos, go out and enjoy it.
Domingo Light, Domingo Light, Domingo Light, Domingo Light.
the weekend action continued Sunday during Domingo Live at Buck Days. Our 3 News family joined in on the fun, signing autographs, taking pictures, and of course enjoying the show with Buck Days pirates and mascots and Corpus Christi's very own, yes, Albert Zamora.
Yes, and get this, y'all. It was the first post-pandemic open to the public event for us. Barbie and Rudy, y'all were amazing. The entire production team, the producers, all did an amazing job making this happen.
And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, no worries. You can stream it right now on our 3 News Plus app.
Ooh, and relive the fun.
All over again. Still to come on 3 News, the Rockport Fulton Pirates getting ready for one of the biggest tests of the season happening in Robstown. Chris has the details next in sports.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's a big week of all local matchups, meaning we're guaranteed to have some teams moving on to the next round. Now, one such matchup has Rockport Fulton facing 12th ranked Robstown. Earlier at 6, we talked to Robstown coach Elias Vasquez about the Pirates. Well, I also had a chance to talk to one of his former assistants, current Rockport Fulton coach Arturo Tutti Elizondo. Elizondo has led the Pirates for several years now, but still looks back fondly on his days with the Pickers. He says he knows the extra emphasis on this series, especially with the outside talk and social media, but he says the key is to try and keep his guys level-headed.
You just try to play normal baseball. It's the second round of the playoffs, but it's a local opponent that you know about. You know how the tradition is rich there. You know their coaches. You know their players. So it doesn't make it any different. It's like if you played a regular game, really.
Yeah, I like to just try and focus on the task at hand. Just go out and win, do what we do, and it's obviously exciting that we get to play Robstown. It's a local team, so we obviously want to win that. So, but it's always good to just keep ground, stay ground, and do what we do and win.
It would mean a lot, especially going to it would mean we'd go to the 3rd round, and that's a big deal for a smaller school.
That series gets underway Thursday night at Rockport, continues Friday in Robstown with Game 3 to be determined if needed. Now, to hear more with the Pickers from earlier, you can head on to our website, KIII-TV.com. That's going to be posted shortly. You can also check them out again on 3 News First Edition tomorrow morning. The Incarnate Word Lady Angels softball team headed to the TAP State Tournament with a dominant 11-0 win over Bernie Geneva in the regional round game up in Goliad. The Angels will play in the Division III state semis 1 week from today at the University of Texas at Arlington's campus. Now, if they win that one, they would play for their first championship in program history the following day on Tuesday, also there at UTA. And a congrats to Bishop Softball's Elena Cruz, who signed her scholarship for Tyler Junior College today. So congrats to her, her family, and the entire Badgers community down there. And hey, we had it at 6 o'clock, but going to have a big Hooks debut tomorrow. The Astros top prospect, Drew Gilbert, he's been tearing it up for High A Asheville. He's going to debut in San Antonio. So unfortunately, they're going to be over at the Missions Park, but hopefully be playing at Whataburger Field 1 week from tomorrow against Tulsa.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and we're going to have coverage of that tomorrow night at 10.
Sure.
Of course we will. Chris, thank you so much.
Good nachos over at Whataburger Field.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
I mean, bud,
They're the best.
They're good. Yeah, fun
Rudy's
time
favorite.
at Whataburger Field. Hey, we've got a few showers and storms on the board. They're weakening out near the Rio Grande out by Laredo, but you look closely into Jim Hogg County, a few little returns showing up there and a few more in McMullen County. So we will have a few showers or storms dotting the radar overnight. Scattered activity tomorrow. I think the best chance between 9 and 3 p.m. Not everyone's going to get it. Scattered means about 50% of the region should expect rain. So that means that the other 50% will not, if that plays out according to the forecast. 83 on Wednesday, same type of deal. Scattered activity, quieter Thursday. And right now, Mother's Day weekend looking a little bit dicey with the weather. So we'll refine that outlook, but.
And we'll keep reminding you that Mother's Day is this weekend. All right, y'all, that'll wrap up the late edition of 3 News.
Good night, everybody.